What's up, guys? It's Charles here with Rocket Punch. I'm going to do a review of the Badcube Warrior Wardog. This is number 4 in the line, which is actually really number 3 because number 1 was actually Cubex before they did the name switch over. Here's the box. Comes in a nice, thick, kind of cardboardy box with some graphics on the side here and the name on the other side. On the back you see a drawing of him in robot mode and tank mode and a bunch of writing down here, which if you care to read you can just pause right there. Otherwise we're going to continue now. And here is what you get inside the boxy box. You get these cards here, which are for the number 2 and number 3 Brawny and Backland. I don't know if they're just tossed in there because they're extra or updated. I have no clue, but they're there. And you do get the one for Wardog here inside the package of the instructions, which we'll check out. And you get 2 cards just like you did with the other 2 releases. One is like, you know, the regular Takara Masterpiece looking one, and one is just, you know, their version. All right, you also get a little poster here, which has a really cool illustration. Rather small poster, I don't know who's going to hang this up. And the instruction booklet right here, which I had the pleasure of reviewing last night for like an hour while I transformed it for the first time, which I actually don't look forward to doing again. But as I said on my Facebook, it's not that bad. Right, and we'll check out the tray here because this is where what we want is located. So let's go ahead and pop this guy out. There you go. And this tank mode is super awesome. He's obviously based on this guy here, which is a G1 Warpath. It's got the same coloring, pretty much same everything on top. I don't know what tank this is based off of. I'm sure some tank nerd can let me know down in the comments below. But it just looks badass. First thing I notice is the amount of detail. You see all the little rivets laid out. All the tank treads are nicely molded in there. It does lack a lot of paint apps, but you don't really need it with this since it's really just trying to look like the G1 toy. And I gotta say the plastic is really nice. It's really nice plastic, especially when I was transforming it. I got to see how resilient it is. One of the things here you will notice is that there are no wheels for this to roll on. Now for those of you looking for wheels on your Transformers, I suggest checking out the kids section at Toys R Us. Otherwise, for us, you know, collectors, you know, like me, I'm totally fine with it not having wheels since I'm not planning to roll this around the floor. Obviously, the best thing they could have done was work some rubber treads, but due to the transformation that would be nearly impossible. So I think their decision is fine the way they have it, alright? Now, last bit I wanted to show you guys is right under here. BAM! Ooh, sorry about that. Don't know where that came from. Is down here, we can see the shield. Zowie! Excuse me. Little shield thing over here. Bam, 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 pow, pow! Apparently, I've developed a case of turrets syndrome. Get it? Turrets? So let's take a couple of these here and we'll be all set. Okay, so as I was saying, down here is where he keeps the shield. And a lot of people don't like the fact that the shield comes off. They call it parts forming or whatever. But I think it's an ingenious idea because this is usually one of the most armored bits underneath the tank, so in case they go over mines and stuff. So it just makes sense that it would be the shield. I don't have any problem with that coming off. And we'll do a little bit of scaling. We're going to check him out first with Bumblebee, which is the only mini-bot I have in vehicle form. And we're also going to grab this guy here, which is the MP20 Wheeljack. And for all you clean freaks, this is how he compares with a bar of soap. Alright guys, this is the part I am dreading the most, which is the transformation. But luckily for you guys, I will be doing it in my patented sequence or whatever, little bits moving around. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that because it took me forever. But here he is, robot mode. Absolutely stunning. I like to use that word stunning when I feel like this. It looks beautiful. It is a little bit of a poopy doo-doo. I wouldn't say mess, but it is a lot of things fiddling about while you're transforming. Butthole! but the alternate mode obviously is very solid, and so is the robot mode. I have nothing bad to say about this robot mode. It does have pretty big feet, but that helps with, you know, stabilizing the figure. The back, although it has this area here, just makes sense because the top part of him is the actual turret of the tank, so you would expect in robot mode all that stuff to still be going on right there. And very, very faithful to the G1, which I got right here. Let's put them side by side. They tried to keep the whole tank tread look to him and the colors, which I do appreciate, even though it's more of a realistic looking tank. It still works somehow, I guess because I'm just used to seeing Warpath. But here he is, G1 mode. You'll see behind the arms, you'll see under the feet there, and obviously the turret with the head on top. So essentially, Badcube took one of the easiest transformations and made it into one of the most complex for a mini-bot. I like the fact that, you know, the head has a very nice sculpt, very reminiscent of the toy, but still updated, looks very good. I love the weapon here. It does have a little swivel here, just like the shield does. I'll show you that in just a moment. You do kind of have to put the gun on an angle. It's kind of hard to explain. You can't just tab it in straight. You got to go in, angle it pretty much this way as you're putting it in the hand and snap it in. Same thing goes for the shield, which is a little more difficult to put in. But I absolutely love the way it looks with the shield. I'm not a big robot shield type of person unless it's a super robot, but for a Transformer, I think it works great on this guy. And some people were a little annoyed that it even has a shield, you know, that's kind of like a parts forming thing. As I showed you guys, this is the bottom of the tank, which is the armored part. But at least he can carry it, even in robot mode. So it's not like if you don't want to use a shield, you just leave it alone. You can actually attach it to the back, which I'll show you guys. Now to get that going, you want to fold this piece. You'll see there's these little round things that are just going to peg right in there. You kind of squeeze them just a tad, just to get them in there. And then this part is going to fold around, and there's actually tabs and holes there for it. And then here you'll see these two little holes, which are for these pegs here. Just be careful because these pegs are painted if you are worried about paint scratching, but they do fit nicely without really causing any damage. And then here it's got these little clips which go right over here. Get that started here for you. And there you are with the storage on the back. I think that's an excellent compromise to having this really come off the tank. You can use it as a shield, and if you're not using it as a shield, you can put it on the robot. Overall, the figure is solid. In robot mode, you wouldn't think that during transformation. You'd think it'd be a floppy mess, but it actually is pretty sturdy. The shoulders, I'm amazed at the amount of times that I've spun these shoulders and they're still tight. They hold the figure really well. You get the, well, might as well go over articulation. You've got the head here, which looks up and down, separate from the neck, which is a nice little design there. You can also turn it to left and right. You got the shoulders again, which I showed you. Got a good range of articulation. They go around. You've also got a little elbow here, and also spin right on the elbow. You got articulated hands, masterpiece style though. Okay, so there's not individual fingers. They do rotate, and the cool thing is you do get a waist, even though you have a complex transformation. You get the hips that go out, and they're ratcheted. They go forward and have a very nice ratchet. You get the knees here, which are also ratcheted, but you don't really hear them. Then we move down to the foot here, has a good amount of articulation. You get angle tilt, which I love. You all can also extend them this way, make them a little taller. I want to take a second talk about the shoulders again. I did go through my transformation sequence rather quickly for you guys just to keep it fun. But if you're going to be transforming it, obviously read the instructions. There's a separate section in the back exactly for the transformation of the shoulders. Spots to be careful of and whatever. So you definitely want to read that to make sure you properly transform it. Having said that, let's do some scales. Right, here we got some scaling with some X-Transbots. We have their version of Power Glide, their version of Wheelie, and their version of Huffer back there. And here he is with his other Badcube brethren. And next to Robo-Soap in robot form. And of course, MP10. Like with all third-party figures, this is tad on the pricey side. You're going to be expecting to pay about 120 bucks. And if it tickles your fancy, you can click the link in the description to grab yourself one of these. If you're enjoying the videos, guys, subscribe, like, leave a comment. And as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye-bye. Hairy Knuckles!